Hi guys, it's Jean here. Welcome to my channel. So can't believe we're in summer right now. We're towards the end of the year, which means Christmas and New Year's is just around the corner. And I don't even know what happened to spring. Actually, no, I do know because I was so busy with the past couple of months. I totally missed enjoying the spring weather. Like this time of year, especially in Melbourne, it's about the racing carnivals, all the flowers and stuff like that. Shopping season is starting to begin. And it's a pretty good time, although the past couple of years we've also included a lot of asthma attacks as well as hay fever. Now, I'm a strong believer that global warming does exist because the past couple of years has really brought on the weirdest weather where it can be sunny one day and completely storm and humid the next, where it brings on a whole lot of pollen and everyone is having asthma attacks. So yeah, but I didn't really feel like I did a lot in spring, and as usual I want to share these spring favorites because I kind of like it. It's the only thing I really do that I can share things that I like here and there. I did used to do hauls, but I haven't really been buying stuff. Well, I have been buying stuff, but nothing really for me for the past year or two. Like I just kind of stopped doing hauls. I realized I buy a lot of stuff because it's on sale, but I don't necessarily need it, which is why I kind of stopped doing that. So that's why I thought I'd continue doing these seasonal favorites, because it's a collaboration of like things that I've bought as well as things that I loved or I've repurposed and re-loved. So I thought I will share with you. Now, like I said, I don't know what I've been doing, so a lot of these I thought I would do since I had a baby recently. Some of the things that I found were useful and my favorites. I'm not going to label it as must-haves for pregnancy or, you know, motherhood, early stages of motherhood, because I find it that, you know, one thing that I think is a must-have for me may not necessarily work for you. And what I've learned is when your baby comes out, they have a mind of their own. So as much as people can recommend something, it all goes out the window once your baby arrives because they might not like it. So I'm going to share mostly things that have helped me through my pregnancy, as well as where I am at the moment having a 2-month-old, and just a few things that I found really useful. So let's go. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some of the favorites I used during my pregnancy. This was my first pregnancy. I didn't know what to expect, didn't know what to do. So what I found really helpful was an app called OVIA. I've explained it millions of times previously, but OVIA is probably like the best app that I used. It was really simple to use, really easy to track, and just accurate. Like I found it that when they say that this is going to happen, this is what should happen, I found it that I could relate to it. So I was using OVIA fertility to help track my periods, also help me, you know, keep track of how things were going. And then I moved on to OVIA pregnancy, which was really, I found it really accurate in like, you know, just step by step, week by week, day by day kind of things, like what to expect and things like that. And then after I had Izzy, then I moved on to OVIA parenting. So I just found it out of all apps that I downloaded and used, that was just the easiest to use. I do really recommend that. See how you go, but I really liked it. Now, I did, by saying that, like, because this is my first pregnancy, I didn't know what to do, what I should be doing, so I spent a lot of time Googling and things like that. And I didn't want to go overboard and buy things that people recommended, so I just kind of did what I thought was practical and what was good in use, and kind of went as I go. So there's two things really that I guess overall kind of made things more comfortable for me, because when you're pregnant, there's a lot of symptoms and stuff, a lot of things which I've shared, I'm pretty sure I've shared previously, like, you know, taking ginger lollies to help with vomiting and nausea, and also just wearing comfortable shoes and things like that. But what I found that really helped as well is a good maternity pillow. I normally like to hug a sausage to sleep, like there's long pillows, but what I found though is that as you get bigger in pregnancy, I have one sausage which I'll, you know, lean on one side, and then if I move to the other, kind of bring it along with me. But the further bigger you get in pregnancy, it's really hard to kind of carry both, and I just like to hug things and also elevate my leg when I sleep, just to make it more comfortable. So I invested in one of these big U pillows. You probably can't see, but it looks like this. It's pretty big, but I just bought this off eBay. Like, I love these. This is obviously not a sponsored video, by the way, so I may brand drop a lot, but this one in particular, like a lot of stuff I don't see the point of paying too much on something that I'm more of a practical reasonable person. I don't see the point of spending hundreds on things that I can get cheaper that doesn't necessarily, you know, it's not any better or anything like that. So I bought this on eBay. It was like $50 or something. It's just a normal pillow, really stuffed, that's shaped of a U, I guess. Kind of reminds me of like a little peg or something, but I found it really helpful because it means that, you know, I've got something on both sides to help me. I can also elevate my leg on it, and also gives me enough, like, you know, to lean my head on it as well. So I found that really comfortable, really easy, to snugs you as well, and it just helped me sleep at night because towards the end of the pregnancy it did get really hard. I felt like a beached up whale a lot of times, like trying to move and things like that, and that just kind of helped me sleep a little bit better, and also blocked off, like, you know, kind of marked my kind of territory in the bed, so, you know, Kang and I don't tend to creep up on each other's spaces. So that's my first favorite. The second one is something that I bought because I thought it would help with back pain, but in a way it kind of helped with support as well, and that is a pregnancy belt. This again I bought off eBay, which was cost about $30 or something like that. It wasn't too expensive. Again, I didn't want to spend too much on, like, you know, hundreds of dollars on ones that I don't know whether I'll use later on, or I don't even know if I'll use it anyway. But my pregnancy again wasn't too bad, but towards halfway mark I started getting pains on my back. It wasn't like the worst pain, but I just thought I would get something to help more, I guess, make it more comfortable. So I purchased one of these. It's literally just like a belt with Velcro on it, and you just kind of wrap it around your waist or your hips, and like the back bit kind of support it, which was really good. And what I loved about this as well, it's not so much the back that it also helped, it also helped support the belly towards the end of the pregnancy. So I don't know why pregnant women always tend to hold their bellies as they walk, just to give it look more defined, or like, you know, I don't know whether it's just let everyone know they're pregnant or what. So, but I realized it is also because they're also holding the belly up because it gets quite heavy and quite uncomfortable. So that's when this also came in handy as well, not just for the back but for the front. I felt like when I wore this, it kind of supported everything up and kind of held the belly up a bit, just so I don't walk around, like waddle around like a penguin, and also don't feel like my stomach is dropping as well, and makes it uncomfortable to walk. So this is really good. I'll try and leave a link below with the places I bought it from as well. Like I said, these were from eBay. So while I was pregnant, obviously spending a lot of time googling like reviews and stuff, what I should get. I spent a lot of time on Pinterest, and just googling, like, you know, a checklist of things that I think I will need. But I was quite reasonable in what I purchased. I still bought a lot of shit that I probably wouldn't need, because I gotta say, you know, baby industry is like a money sucker. They just suck up a lot of money. They make a lot of money in things that are cute and stuff, but you don't necessarily need. So the one thing that I did purchase, which I absolutely agree is the best purchase, is a diaper bag. I originally was just gonna go with, like, you know, maybe like a tote bag, something really nice and pretty, but I love backpacks. Like, for me, backpacks are so comfortable, so it was only, you know, the right thing to do is to get a backpack diaper bag. So this is the diaper bag that I bought, and I feel like it is a thing right now to get these. Everyone seems to have one, and I totally agree in why, because they're so comfortable to use and so versatile and convenient as well. So I bought this on AliExpress. It wasn't even expensive. It cost me like $36 to $40. It was quite cheap. There's a lot of different brands out there, the made in China ones. You just got to read the review and check to see whether it's okay. I didn't have a problem with this. Like I said, like, I initially, before I was pregnant, when I was still trying, I had this on my save list saying that if I did fall pregnant, it's something that I was looking for. But then towards once I got pregnant, I'm like, oh, maybe do I really need a diaper bag? Maybe I can just use an existing bag. But I ended up getting one anyway, because you know what, backpacks are so handy with diaper bags. They can get so heavy that if you carry a tote bag, it could hurt your hand. Holding a baby is just so uncomfortable. So this is easy. The shoulder pads are really convenient as well, because it's nice and soft, and this is a dedicated diaper bag. So when we were in Japan, everyone was carrying these kind of like style bags, but this one is an actual diaper bag where it comes with things. So I'll probably do a what's in my diaper bag video further on in the future, but I'll just give you a quick summary in why I love this bag. It's because, as you can see, there's a compartment for bottles where they have like the insulating foil thing in it, which it comes in really handy. And there's also several compartments in it as well. So this is the main compartment where you open up, and it kind of opens like that, so it's really easy to get. There's a couple of slots and things like that. There's also like a back thing you can get if there's something deep down on the bottom of the bag. And they've also got like side pockets for like wipes and like just other stuff. This is where I keep the battery bank. But I just found it really helpful. So there's one thing that I do actually, kind of being a hypocrite, but if there's one thing that I say is a must-have, is definitely a backpack diaper bag. It just makes it so much easier. It comes in different colours. I just went the grey because that way it seems more neutral, so Kang and I can wear it. And at first, because Izzy was in hospital for like almost a month, like 3.5 weeks, I didn't exactly use it because I didn't have to carry a lot of stuff. So I did use it as a snack bag, which also came in handy as well. Quite convenient. And now that we take it out and about, even if I don't use it during the day, I do put it in my bag in the car, so it has everything that I need, and it fits a lot of things in it as well, so it's really handy. So when Isabel came out, she spent the first couple of weeks in hospital in the nursery. So for me, I felt like I couldn't really jump straight into mum mode and look after her as I expected, but what I could do at that time was really just breast pump and also focus on her feeds and know when her feeds were to go visit her or see her. So for me, what was really helpful and my favorite is a watch. This is the Daniel Wellington watch. I got this years ago for my birthday from Kyung. This is the 36mm one because I have a really fat wrist. But I got this a while ago, and what I did was, I haven't worn the watch in a while. I had the leather strap, which is really nice, but after a while, if I get sweaty and stuff, I've already replaced a couple of times because it got sweaty and stinky. But this time I thought, you know what, I'm kind of over the whole leather thing. I want to kind of break it up here and there, so I thought I'd invest in these like mesh kind of these, what do you call these, bands. Now this is also by Daniel Wellington, but they don't, as you can see, I bought this separately, but it kind of doesn't sit properly. There's a gap in between because these bands are more dedicated to like the 36mm, no, 32mm rather than the 36. So it's a little big. I just wish if Daniel Wellington was listening to this, they could also make these bands for the bigger versions. I just like it because it kind of makes your watch look different, more elegant. But like I said, what I love about using this and why this is my favorite during the early stages of motherhood is because for me, I have really good imagination, but when it comes to I guess, you know, remembering time and stuff, it goes over my head, and I found it easier using an analog watch than a digital watch to kind of calculate every 3 hours when her feed was. So with an analog watch, I can kind of look at it and go for every 3 hours and just map it out on the watch rather than trying to figure out on the phone, because I guess I could use a like alarm or something, but I just found it really easy and convenient looking at this watch. Just so I know every 3 hours when her feed is. I can also kind of plan ahead and see a pattern going on. So why I really loved, and I've gone back to wearing a watch. Now mums and dads, when you are in hospital, I gotta say my biggest tip is make the most of it. If they're giving you diapers, they're giving you wipes, they're giving you bottles, just take as much as you can. I'm not condoning stealing or anything, but I'm just saying that if they're going to give it to you anyway, you might as well take it. And because Isabel was in hospital for almost a month, 3.5 weeks, I had to pump a lot of milk and also, you know, give her from the bottle, just to kind of teach her how to suck and things like that, which means that we went through a lot of bottles. And for the hospital we were in, they have like a one-use kind of thing, so after they use it, they kind of just throw it out. They're not meant to use it, recycle it, and some of them are really good bottles. So I thought, you know what, might as well take it home. So being me, don't know whether this is part of my Asian side, but I literally took home all these bottles. Now, like I said, it wasn't that I stole it or anything, not that I should admit it, but they were literally telling me, you know what, just take it. Because these bottles, like, they saved me now. Like, I did buy proper bottles, the Advent bottles for her to use, but I'm not used to it because they're quite big. I don't know how to hold it, and because I'm so used to these in the hospital, I just find it really slim and convenient to use. And because they're still quite good plastic, you can use it a couple times as well, so you might as well milk it. So I've got a couple of these Mustela ones that the hospital had for pumping, so I just keep them and store them so I can pump at home, put in the fridge, freezer, whatnot. And also the teats as well. So like I said, every time I give her a milk, they'll have to chuck it out, so I just kind of kept it so I can reuse it. So I could use it a couple of times and throw it out. But yeah, I've kept all of the bottles, so this should last me like a good while. But like I said, like a lot of times, especially if you're paying for a private, you're most likely paying for it anyway, so you might as well take as much, because baby stuff are expensive when it comes to reusable diapers and wipes, baby wipes. Oh my god, don't get me started about those. It is expensive, so might as well make the most as what you got. Moving on to my next favorite that I kind of want to share is something that, you know, was kind of a trial and error. And like I said, this isn't a paid promotion or anything. It's not sponsored. This is just something that I really liked using. So before I gave birth, on my list I had a couple of products in mind that I thought was good, because other people used it and because I thought it was a good brand. I'm not going to say what brand it was, but when I did end up using it at the hospital, I kind of realized it has this scent. Like, it's got this herbal kind of like leafy kind of scent that wasn't, it's like sage or like some kind of herbal smell to it that I wasn't a big fan on. And the first couple of washes, like baths that Isabel had, she started getting really flaky, and I'm not sure whether it's just normal, like a snake, babies like snakes, with their skin starts to, like, you know, come off and things like that. But I just didn't really like it. The whole thing just seems weird, which sucked because I bought like a 500 milliliter bottle. So I am using it now, but a product that I do love, that I did love using, was Mustela. Mustela is a really good brand that I really liked. I'm not going to go too much into details. If you want to know, just research it. But the reason why I liked it is because it didn't break out her skin. It smelled pretty nice. And also cradle cap. She didn't have a lot of cradle cap, but when I used this on her, it did help a lot. So, and what I was also told by the nurse, that for me with psoriasis, hey, you've got flaky dry skin on your skin, she recommended this as well, said that someone used it and it worked. So I'm using it myself. The only thing I don't like, because it's a foam bottle like this one, you have to use a lot of it. So I still use a shampoo and stuff to clean it, and then I go and use this, because what I love about this as a hairdresser is that a lot of shampoos, if it's a natural organic shampoo or something that's good for you, it shouldn't foam on your head when you wash it the first time. It should just kind of like sink in and not foam at all, because what it's doing is extracting all the dirt from your hair. And then once you rinse it and wash it again, then you'll start noticing the foam. And that's what I like about this, is the first couple of times, you know, you won't get anything if your hair is dirty, but once your hair is clean and you use that, you can kind of see something. And I like that kind of thing, so that's why I really like it. I was given a ton of them, like I said, in hospital, like all these. Okay, so they may have been sitting around and I may have just taken them as well, but you know what, these come in handy, and they have a lot of products like, you know, rash cream, moisturizers. I do use the moisturizer, like the lotion, on her after a bath. It makes her feel silky soft and really nice as well. She's not agitated, she doesn't get rashes from it, and it's not like that sticky kind of gooey, creamy texture, which I'm not a big fan of. So I did get a lot of these. I went to an expo and got one of these. So I've got heaps of these ready to go. And I also did buy products as well, just for backup, because I really like it, like the bath oil and stuff. So yeah, so I think it's a really good product. It's French, it's all healthy and really good for her. So I like it. Okay, so maybe there are some must-haves that you should have, like not in terms of branding, but just things that you should have after giving birth. And the one thing that, you know, is definitely on my top of the list is breast pads. This is something that, you know, is not often talked about, you know, especially before you have your first child. Breastfeeding itself is a whole different, like, you know, field of its own. And, you know, regardless of whether you're breastfeeding or you're formula feeding, you know, whatever works for you and your child, no discrimination here. But at the end of the day, regardless, you will leak. And it is something that no one told me about. Like, it's on the list of things, but no one says why. And that's because you will leak looking at your child, you know, by being around babies, by having like too much milk in your boobs, and also when you're feeding from one boob, the other one gets jealous and starts to leak. So there is a lot of leakage involved. I did get some disposable ones from my baby shower for my friends, which I use, which is good because you can use it, throw it out. But I bought these ones because I figured, you know, you're going to be using a lot. I'm assuming, you know, until you stop breastfeeding or stop producing milk. These come in handy. The amount of times these have saved me. And yeah, so I bought reusable ones. I think these like bamboo ones I got from like eBay or like AliExpress, something really cheap again. You can probably get better quality ones, but I just figured they're all the same, just one's branded, one's not. So I really like using these. They come in handy so much. But yeah, this is something I do definitely recommend. But yeah, that's pretty much all the, I guess, essential favorites that I've been using. There's like other stuff, like cute stuff here and there, but it's not necessarily needed. It's just like, you know, because it's cute and all. But there was one thing that I do strongly recommend though, especially for first time parents, is do a first aid course. I'll leave a link down below to the organization I did, but we went with Tiny Hats. They have like, I'm not sure, I guess, you know, not everyone can get this, but they have like free programs where we went and they taught you a lot of things that I was not sure on. Like, it just made it more assertive, like being a parent, like what to expect and things like that. Because, you know, when you are expecting your first child, there are a lot of things that you don't expect. And a lot of things that you don't even think of. Like, you know, what happens if they choke, if they burn. You know, they teach you the basics of, you know, CPR, you know, the steps in case there's emergency, what to do if they had like, you know, certain infections or diseases and things like that. I found it very, very helpful. I'll leave a link down below. Like I said, it may not be useful for a lot of you unless you're in Melbourne, in the city area, then, you know. But yeah, definitely do recommend, if there's any classes you should take, it's you know, a first aid course for babies. Strongly recommend. So the last baby stuff I want to mention is a baby carrier. So this is a baby carrier that I bought recently. This is the Ergobaby one, the Omni 360 mesh. I don't know if you guys are interested in doing a review because there's a lot on it online as well, but I didn't get this till, like I said, recently after she was born, because it is really a big investment. It costs like over $200, $280. We got on sale for like $240 or something like that. It's a big investment to get before you have a baby because you don't know whether you're going to need it or not. But we found out with Isabella that after her corrected age, she just started screaming a lot. She just wanted to be carried a lot. Even though we try not to carry her to avoid that, she does. So for us to have both hands free, I thought it was time to invest in a baby carrier, which was probably a good investment. Now, the reason why I went with this is because did a lot of reviews online. It was between this or Baby Bjorn, Baby Bijon, however you say it. And I went with this because it felt more comfortable. What I recommend if you are thinking about getting a baby carrier is to go into your store and try them on. The good thing about Baby Bunting is they have a whole lot you can try on. I kind of just gravitated towards the Baby Bjorn and the Ergobaby. But after trying it on, I found that the Baby Bjorn for me wasn't great because they had a lot of buckles and fidgety stuff on it, which I think having, once you have a baby, trying to put them in together, it just seems like really complicated and really frustrating. So I ended up getting this because it was really easy. What I love about the baby, the Ergobaby one, is that it has this extra back padded support, which is slightly helpful because sometimes it does. These baby carriers people don't recommend because it hurts your back. But you know what? If it means I can use my hand free, why not go for it? So I really love it. I've been using it for a while now. And the good thing is, like, the reason also why I've got this is because you can wear them back and front, side, you know, to side or whatever. So it's quite versatile as she grows up. So it is a big investment, but I have included this in my favorite because it means I can get other stuff done. So those were, like I said, all the baby stuff. A lot of stuff I would, as a recommendation, wouldn't buy because you don't necessarily need it until after birth. Like after birth. But yeah, so there are a few things that I also enjoyed as well as part of my favorites. So the first one is this lip balm. This is from Etude House. I did put the DHC, the one previous month. That was my favorite, but I have moved on to this one only because it is slightly more pigmented in color, more nice and rosy, so you don't have to put in too much effort. And I've been looking like death the past couple of months through the pregnancy as well as definitely after birth. Like, don't even go there. But something like this just kind of makes it look a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more done up a bit, a little bit more presentable. But yes, I've been loving that, and it smells pretty nice. There's no taste. It doesn't feel like thick or anything. It's really nice, like there's nothing at all, but it does give a little bit of colour, which makes you look more lively, I guess. I've also been focusing on a lot of her that I've also kind of stopped focusing on me. So I do still use the same products as I did last season, or the last pretty much the whole year. The one thing that I have added to my routine, which I kind of like because it's kind of like a weird novelty as well, and that's this Senka Perfect Whipped cleanser. So this is the one I bought from Japan. What I like about this is that you literally only need like a small little drop, and it applies on your face pretty much like shaving cream. It's so thick, so whipped, so creamy that it just goes all over, but it does make my face feel really nice and tight and refreshed after. So on days where, you know, I don't have a shower, because usually I wash my face in the shower, but on the days that I don't, or in the mornings, just to brighten up and get rid of the shit that's on my face, because I've had less, like barely any sleep, and like baby stuff all over me, like this is just a good cleaning product, and it just kind of feels a little sad. It's like it almost feels like a minute beauty routine, like a little facial kind of thing. So I really like this one. Now it can't be a seasonal favorite for me unless I throw in a little bit of random stuff. So another stuff that I want to also mention, and like I said, these aren't paid products, I do really like it, and it's this cleaning product called KOH. I believe it's called EcoWorks, that's renamed to KOH. Now these have been popping up all over my Facebook, and I don't know why. Like, I strongly think that someone is listening to like my phone or something. Like every time you mention something, next minute all the ads are on that. It's completely creepy, and I've been trying to say free, money the whole time, but nothing's come my way. So I don't know how selective it is, but this has been coming up on my Facebook for like so many times. I thought, you know what, let's try it, because I don't know whether they're all paid reviews, but like everyone's saying, you know, it's good. And I've had a couple of friends that tell me that they bought it and it actually works. So I thought, you know what, I'll get this, because there is a whole lot of soap scum on the bathroom that I've been trying everything to get off, and it will not get off. So I thought I would give it a go, and I purchased this product. So you get like a 4-litre like solution, as well as some cleaning products. And I don't know whether it's the actual solution itself or the rags, like these little towels that you get with it, but one thing's for sure, the product does work. So like I said, it could be this or it could be the solution, I don't know, but something works. And especially mirrors, like mirrors, every time you wipe down you always get that streaky mark, but this has been perfect. It gets rid of all that or everything. Like we have a mirrored splashback kitchen splashback, and it gets dirty, especially oil stains, but this cleans it up so well. So I've been testing it. Now it doesn't get rid of the soap scum at the moment, but I'm still trialing it, maybe because I didn't wait for it to sit before I went through and rubbed it off, but it is a really good product. Kyung is really anal about his floors, especially his tiles. We invested in a steam mop once, thinking it'd be easy to clean it, but he didn't like it because it left like steam marks. So he is traditional, goes through with the mop and then goes through with a towel with his feet and kind of like, you know, dry it off after. I have convinced him to use this and he loves it. Doesn't leave streak marks, cleans it straight away, super easy, especially when you get the mop that comes with it. But yeah, I highly recommend this. Like if you see this on Facebook, I'll leave a link down below. I'm not sure whether it's just Australian or whether it's worldwide, but it actually does work. Even if this doesn't, at least get some of these because they're awesome. Now there are 2 shows also on Netflix that I do also want to recommend because I have been loving it. The first one is Kim's Convenience. I think it is the funniest thing ever. Like, I haven't laughed for like in so long. Like, I find that Netflix shows nowadays, they're very dark, very gloomy, or very, you know, try to be controversial, whereas Kim's Convenience is just funny because I can actually, being Asian, relate to some of them, and also it's just good to have a laugh, and like a real genuine laugh, and not having to think about it and things like that. So that was especially when we took her home the first couple of weeks, it was the hardest because we didn't know what to do and we're trying to work out a routine. So it was good to kind of like sit down and have a good laugh just to get rid of all those first 4th trimester blues. And then unfortunately it only goes up to season 2, so I finished that. So another one that I'm starting to watch now, which I'm loving so far, even though I'm a few episodes in, I'm not sure this is, you know, if this is available anywhere else but Australia, but there's a show called The Letdown. It's an Australian based TV show about motherhood, and it is so painfully accurate that, you know, you just can't help watching it. It just feels so good to know that, you know, it is common. There are people out there, like, to be able to make a show about it, that go through some of the things that you think you're going through alone. So I really enjoyed watching that as well. So yeah, those are all of my favorites, things I've been loving or finding useful the past couple of months. A lot of random stuff here and there, but if you found this useful, or, you know, if you're about to have a baby and thinking what you should and shouldn't do, or like things that may come in helpful for you as well, hope you like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe to watch more. Thanks for watching. Bye.